Hi, welcome to my video on Polynomials 2, and this is practice number 1B. Number 1, simplify each. So we have negative 4x squared times 3x minus 2 times x plus 3. What I do is 3 multiplications here, but I have a habit. I'll do the 2 on the, even though it says do these 2 first by PEMDAS, because these are 2 binomials, I like to multiply these out first. Just a habit that I do. So 3x times x is 3x squared. As first, outside, 3x times 3 is 9x. Inside is negative 2 times x, negative 2x. And last is negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And then I simplify that. And I get 3x squared. 9 subtract 2 is 7. 7x minus 6. Now I'll multiply the monomial by this trinomial. So negative 4x squared times 3x squared is negative 12x to the fourth. When you multiply, you add the exponents. Negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. X squared times x is x cubed. 2 plus 1 is 3. That's a 1 power there. And negative 4 times 6 is plus 24x squared. So it's in descending order and it's simplified. Now I have a binomial times a trinomial. Still use FOIL in a sense. So I'm going to take the 2x and multiply by each one of these like this. So that's 2x times 5x squared is 10x cubed. 2x times negative 3x is negative 6x squared. 2x times 10 is a plus 20x. Now I'm going to take the negative 4 and multiply by each term in the trinomial. So negative 4 times 5x squared is a negative 20x squared. Negative 4 times negative 3x is a positive 12x. Negative 4 times 10 is negative 40. Now that I have that done, I will simplify. So I can rearrange in descending order. So 10x cubed. No more cubes. Squares next. Negative 6x squared minus 20x squared. And cubes are gone. Squares are gone. X's. So 20x plus 12x, they're gone. Negative 40. Now I'll simplify. 10x cubed, x squared, so that's negative 6, negative 20 is negative 26x squared. 20 plus 12 is plus 32x, and the negative 40. And see, I have 3 binomials being multiplied. Again, what I do, just a habit, instead of multiplying these 2 first, I like to multiply the second pair. Again, 2x FOIL. 2x times negative x is negative 2x squared. 2x times 4 is plus, that's a square there, 8x. Negative 3 times negative x is a positive 3x. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. And again, it's good to simplify that expression here, if you can, because it makes, we have less multiplication to do. So we add the like terms, gives us 11x minus 12. Because you simplified, if I multiply these 2 terms by these 4, I will get 2 times 4 terms. Sorry, 2 times these 4 will give us 8 terms altogether. Because I simplified, now I only got these 2 terms times these 3, so I got less terms to deal with. So here we go. Negative x squared times these 3 terms. So that's a positive 2x to the fourth minus 22x cubed plus 12x squared. So I multiplied negative x squared by each one of these. There's the answer. Now I'm going to multiply 2 by each one of these. So 2 times negative 2x squared, negative 4x squared. 2 times 11x, 22x. And 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. And as it happens, I got 4, 3, 2's is already in descending order. So if I add up the like terms, there's no more x to the fourth, there's no more x cubed. X squared, I have a plus 8x squared plus 22x minus 24. D, express 2x minus 1 and x plus 3 over x plus 1. So this is, treat this as something like 2 and 3 over 4. So treat this as a mixed rational expression, like a mixed numeral. So we're going to write it as a fraction where the numerator and denominators are polynomials. So what we do, we go 2 times 4 plus 3 over 4. So you go 2 times 4 plus 3 over 4. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go 2x minus 1 times x plus 1, add on x plus 3 all over x plus 1. So the pattern I used here, which is this, 2 times 4 plus 3, I used it here. So 2x minus 1 times x plus 1, add on x plus 3 all over the denominator of x plus 1. So we multiply first. So let's multiply these two. So that's 2x squared plus 2x minus x minus 1. So first, outside, inside, last. That's what give me these. Add on x plus 3 all over x plus 1. And we can, without grouping these, I can see that negative x and x, they cancel out. So I get 2x squared plus 2x, negative 1 plus 3 is 2, all over x plus 1. And so that's the fraction that represents this, what we call mixed rational expression. So if you divided x plus 1 into this trinomial, you would get 2x minus 1 and x plus 3 is the remainder. Okay, let's continue. Find the quotient and the remainder of each. So I got 3 division problems, just as a review. So we have 5x minus 2 divided by x plus 3. So let's write down x plus 3 divided into 5x minus 2. So we take the first term and divide into the first term. So x divided into 5x is 5. So 5 goes right here. Notice this is a constant term, so the 5 goes below, above that term. Multiply back. 5x, 5 times x is 5x. 5 times plus 3 is 15. Now in these, when I'm subtracting, this is a plus, so I change it to a minus. This is a plus, so I change it to a minus. So now I'm looking at positive 5, subtract 5. When I add them up, I get 0. Negative 2, negative 15 is negative 17. So your quotient is 5, and your remainder is negative 17. Now we have another one to do. But notice that in doing these, I'm going to do 2 things at one time, save space. I'm going to take this term, but I'm going to write the negative 2x and a plus 3. I'm going to write them in descending order when I write them down. So this is understood to be a constant term, so that goes on the end here. Now I have x cubed, x, and x. I have an x cubed, x squared, and x. So I'll go 12x cubed minus 4x squared minus x. So now that I have it written down correctly, I'm going to do the division. So negative 2x into 12x cubed is a negative 6x squared. So negative 2x into 12x cubed is a negative 6x squared. So this negative 6x squared goes above, the x squared goes above the x squared. Multiply back. Negative 6x squared times negative 2x is 12x cubed. And that's a negative 3 times negative 6x squared is a negative 18x squared. Draw a line. And now we're subtracting. So this is a plus, so we change the sign, we make it a minus. This is a minus, so I make it a plus sign. So this is a positive 12 minus 12 is 0. I got a negative 4. Add on 18. That's a positive 4 from 18 is 14. So 18 subtract 4 is 14x squared. Now I had to bring down the next term. Done. Now I divide negative 2x into 14x squared. So that's a negative 7x. Multiply back. Negative 7x times negative 2x is 14x squared. These two terms had to be the same in order to cancel out. So that's why we do the division and then write it down below. 3 times negative 7x is negative 21x. Draw a line. That's a plus, so I'll make it a minus. That's a minus, so I'll make it a plus. What we're doing, I'll explain that again after. So positive 14, negative 14 is 0. Negative 1, and that's a minus, so this should be a plus. Make sure that's a plus. So it's negative 1 plus 21 is 20x. And we have one more term. I didn't. Okay, 20x. So notice there's zeros here, so no good to bring down the 0. So I have a quotient of negative 6x squared minus 7x, and a remainder of 20x. You have to keep going until you get to the end. And we have the end here. Now, we have another one to do. So, again, but this time you got to be careful, because notice that this is x squared minus 1. So there's terms in between here. So when I write this down, I'll go x squared plus 0x minus 1. When I'm dividing, I have to make sure I fill in the missing terms, because if I don't, I won't do it right. So I got an x to the 4th. I don't have no x cubes. I have no x squareds. I have a 3x minus 6. So to fill in the zeros coefficients for the missing terms makes this an easier problem to deal with. So here we go. So I take the x squared and divide it into x to the 4th, and I get an x squared. So the x squared goes above the x squared. Multiply back. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. X squared times 0x is a positive 0x cubed. When I say positive, zeros are either negative or positive. And x squared times negative 1 is negative x squared. Draw a line. So that plus becomes a minus. 0, no need to change. And the negative 1 becomes a plus 1. So we have positive, negative, they cancel out. This is 0x cubed. And this is 1. So again, that's a minus. I forgot, just neglected. That's a plus there. So it's the plus 1. So 0 plus 1. That's a positive 1x squared. And I got 3 terms here. So I should 1, 2. So I should bring down 1 more. So x squared divided into 0x cubed is 0x. Multiply back. I get a 0x cubed. I get a 0x squared, and I get, that's negative 1 times that is a 0x. And they're all zeros. So right here, I have, that cancels out, that's x squared, and this is plus 3x. Again, there's no need to change the zeros to negatives. So bring down your negative 6. So x squared divided into x squared is a plus 1. Multiply back, 1 times x squared is x squared. 1 times 0x is 0x. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. And as a plus, we make it a minus. And 0, no need to make it a minus. And that's a minus 1, so we make it a plus 1. So x squared, negative x squared is 0. That's a 3. Add on 0 is, that's a 3x. And negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. So we have x squared plus 0x plus 1. I can leave out the 0 if I want. It could be just that. And the remainder is 3x minus 5. So just some review and division. That's what this is meant to be, a review of the unit. Okay, and now we have PEMDAS. So what we have here is simplify. We have this trinomial being divided by 5x, and we subtract this binomial squared. So PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, we have to do inside the brackets, but we can't, you can't add these, subtract these like terms. So I have to do the power. So what I'm going to do is not do this division, because I'm going to do the power first. I'm going to do the correct way. So we're going to square this. Now there's several ways to square. How do we square this? Well, I'm going to square it the fast way. So when you take a binomial and square it, you take the first term and you square it. So you get 2x squared. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. You take the last term, which is negative 3, and square it. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. And the middle term is the product of these two doubled. So that's a negative 6 when you multiply them, and double. So that's a negative 12x. That's the fast way. But if you don't want to do it that way, then if you want, you could write down 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3 and do the FOIL on to come up with this. That's your choice. But I had to do the power first, exponent. Now, now that the power is done, I have to do the division next, because it says multiplication, division, left to right. So divide, I'm taking 5x and dividing into each one of these. So 15x cubed divided by 5x gives me 3x squared. Negative 10x squared divided by 5x is a negative 2x. Negative 25x divided by 5x is negative 5 minus. Now, I did that division, so again, just to do it exactly according to PEMDAS, I divide it. Now I'm going to subtract. So 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. When you subtract, you add on the opposite, so that's a plus, so it's a minus. That's a minus, so it's a plus. That's a plus, so we make it a minus. Now, we need to put it in descending order and group the terms. So 3x squared minus 4x squared, so those two are. And I got a negative 2x plus 12x. That's done. When I say done, I mean taken care of. So I've written them in descending order. Now I'm going to simplify. 3 minus 4 is negative 1x, so it's just negative x squared, plus 10x minus 14. That should be, everything there should be okay. All right. Now number 4. We're going to find the polynomial in expanded form. What is the polynomial in expanded form? Okay. So, how do we handle this? Well, let's see. I'm going to write, this is the, let me write down a plus b to the 0 power, a plus b to the 1, a plus b squared, a plus b. So this is the power of a binomial. So this is 0 power of a binomial. So this 0 power of binomial, I put it too high. Let me put it right here. 0 power of anything except 0 is 1. So this is AB. So this is the coefficients. I'm just doing the coefficients are 1 and 1. So if you take a square, a plus b squared, you will get a 1, a 2, and a 1 for the coefficients. If you take a cube, you go 1, 3, 3, 1. And fourth is a 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 plus 1 is 4. 1. So these are the coefficients that's going to be in the front of these. But I'm going to write these out now. So notice this is what I call the binomial theorem, the powers of a binomial. So this one right here is the binomial to the power of 1. This 2 here is the binomial squared. This 3. So the second number here is the power of the binomial. So when I take AB and put it to the 1 power, I'll get an A plus B. When I take a plus b squared and FOIL it out, I'll get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. When I cube it, I'll get, now, a cube. So notice this is, you start with an a and then you get a b. This is a squared, ab, b squared. So when I get a 3, I start with a cubed. Now I got a 3 a squared b. I got a 3a b squared, and I got b cubed. So that's a plus and a plus, and that's a plus. So notice your 1 power, that's a 1, that's a square. So every term here has a power of 1. Every term here got a power of 2. 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's a 2. Every term here got a power of 3. 3. 2 plus 1. 1 plus 2. 3. But the a's go down, and as the a's go down, the b's go up. So this one is a to the 4th. And we got an a cubed b. Next one is a squared b squared. So notice the a power is going down, the b power is going up. They always got to be a power of 4 every term. And the coefficients are 1. This is a 4, 6, 4. So this is a 4, 6, 4. And they're pluses. So I'm just showing you this because it's important to know. Again, when you do probability and things like that, you might need this. But we need this to the 4th power. So a plus b to the 4th power, 3x minus 1 to the 4th power. That means the a is 3x. And I'm going to rearrange this to make it positive. So that's 3x, add on negative 1. So a is 3x and b is negative 1. So if you write this pattern out for this 4th power, you get a to the 4th plus 4a cubed b plus 6a squared b squared plus 4. And a's go down, the b's go up. So there it is. So check. The pattern is 14641. 14641. A to the fourth. A cube B. A is going down. 4, 3, 2, 1, none. And the B's 1, 2. Yep, perfect. So A is 3x. And B is negative 1. 6. A is 3x. And B is negative 1. A is 3x. B is negative 1. B is negative 1. So, now we take and go through and simplify each of these terms, and that will give us that trinomial. So here we go. So 3 to the fourth power, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, so that's 81x to the fourth. So right here, if I take this one, I get a 4, and that's a 27x cubed, negative 1. So when I multiply that out, I get a negative 81x cubed. Notice I cubed this one first. It gives me 27x cubed, and then I multiply it. Oh, 4. I did it 3 times, so 4 is, oh, almost made that error. I was thinking about cubing then. That's 4 times 27 is 108. My mistake. And now here I have, let's see, I have a 6. 3x being squared. 3x all squared is 9x squared. And negative 1 squared is 1. So 6 9s are 54x squared. And right here, I have, that's negative 1 cubed. And negative 1 to an odd power is negative 1. So that's negative 12x. Negative 1 to a fourth power is even, so it's just a 1. So that's reviewing the binomial theorem, powers of a binomial theorem. And to end this off, let's look at finding the surface area of a rectangular box with no top. We want to find the surface area as a polynomial in simplified descending form. So, we want to find the surface area. Well, it's a rectangular box, so let's fill in the what we can't see with these. So we have an x minus 1 here. This is an x here. And this side over here is x plus 2. So we have, let's look at the bottom. The bottom is this dimension times this, so that's x times x plus 2. Let's look at the front and the back. The front is x times, the front is right here, is x times x minus 1, and is also x, the back is also x times x minus 1, but there's 2 of them, so let's put a 2 there. And then we look at the sides. This is one side right here. So this is x plus 2 times x minus 1. And this side right here, it's over right here. So these two are the same, so there's 2 of them. So the surface area, what I call SA, is made up of the bottom. Notice there's no top. There's no top. We don't want the surface area of the top because it's going to contain no top. So the bottom is x times x plus 2. The front and the back is 2x times x minus 1. And the sides is 2 times x plus 2 times x minus 1. So let's multiply this out and see what we get. We have to do all multiplications first. So we multiply these two, we get x squared plus 2x. X times x times 2. Now we get 2x times x minus 1 gives us positive 2x squared minus 2x. And what I'm going to do here for this one, I'm going to multiply these two first. So let's go up here. So I got 2, and I'm going to do a fast multiplication on this. So the first one is x times x is x squared. Negative 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Outside is negative 1x. Inside is 2x. When you add those together, you get a positive x. So that's, I did the FOIL in my head, but you can expand it out. Now I'm going to multiply that by 2. So I get a 2x squared plus 2x minus 4. Again, I multiplied these two first. There it is. And simplified it, and then I multiplied it by 2. You could multiply by 2 first, but be careful. If you multiply 2 by this bracket, you don't multiply by this one. You multiply these two first, then this binomial. So that's why I multiply these two first, then multiply by the 2, so I won't make an error. Now we group like terms, so I got an x squared plus 2x squared plus 2x squared. So there, used up. I got a 2x minus 2x plus 2x. I got them done, minus 4. So simplify. 1, 2, 2 is 5. Positive 2x minus 2x cancels out, so I got a negative, positive 2x. There's 0, minus 4. So that's the surface area of that box, which has no top. Again, it's designed as a review to help you have a better understanding. And like all my videos, if you like my videos, click the like button, click the subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. The content of my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.